how you can write an excellent review article, traditional review article, narrative review article, or whatever you call it. So what review articles are? Review article, as the name suggests, they are actually a review. They are actually an overview. Simply you can say that you actually summarize the available literature, we summarize the available evidence, obviously from the literature and databases and from the previous research on a certain topic, and specifically on a certain research question or certain domain of your field. If you summarize the current available research or current available evidence on any aspect of a topic, that is actually a review article, because you are actually reviewing the literature. That's why it is also known as a review article. So here I will be explicitly talking about the medical research. So I will just show you a few steps that are cornerstones of writing an excellent review, and just quickly then I will go to a published review article and I will show you there in that paper that how the authors wrote a very good review article. So just first step writing of an excellent review article is pre-writing. Now the what does it pre-writing, that before writing that review article, obviously you plan something. Before doing something practically, you plan how to do it, you think about that. So in writing a review article, the pre-writing things you will define your scope and the research question. Pretty similar to other kinds of studies where also you just define your scope and research question. So obviously you will go through a topic, and in that topic you will obviously choose certain domain, whether related to diagnosis or treatment or complications and mortality and XYZ ethics. So you will define your scope, that okay, what will be the scope of your, what will be the range of your that review, and what aspect you are going to review, and you will develop a research question just like in other studies. Second thing is literature search. So first you define your scope, and then you define your research question on some particular topic. After that you will do the literature search based on your research question, again similar to you are writing other kinds of studies. Now in review article, what you will do, I said that review article actually is a collection of previously published work, literature and evidence, and then according to our research question we summarize whatever is available with regard to best practices on that theme. So here you will, or third step is you will organize your review. What do I mean by organizing? Organize means you will first develop a detailed outline or structure of your review. Yes, when you're writing a review article, let me tell you that exactly there are no any hard fast rules for writing a literature review or narrative review or review article. There are no such established actually a checklist or reporting guideline. Just in systematic reviews we write with the Prisma. There are equator guidelines or stroke guidelines for other studies. So actually there are not such any detailed or very hard and fast strict criteria for writing a review article. There are some one I know is the Sandra checklist. I have also used it. It's quite useful, so that's not too complicated. So first you will draw the structure of your review. Second is in structure the common sections, again they are somehow similar to other kind of researches. First will be your introduction. You will briefly introduce your topic and research question. In that introduction, obviously you will follow the journal guidelines when submitting to some journal. So after introduction, your body. Now in the body, usually when we are writing primary researches like cross-sectional cohort or RCTs, or we are writing systematic reviews, what in body do after introduction, we give actually the our keywords, we actually give our objectives, and we give a method, results, discussion, and blah blah such things. But in the body of this review article, introduction will be the same as with other studies, but in the body you will not need to follow necessarily to follow the steps like method, results, and such things, your discussion. Okay, you will actually summarize the key findings from the literature. What you will do, you will just summarize the key findings from literature review regarding your research question. Obviously you have selected a research question and you did a literature search. After that, now you're organizing your review. So in your outline, first will be your introduction. In body you will summarize the key findings related to that theme in your paper. That could be positive, that could be negative. Once you summarize the key findings, it's not only a summarization of key findings, you will also analyze critically and evaluate that research. So here the second step, you will summarize. First step is you will summarize the available evidence on that theme or the topic or research question, and once you summarize, you will also analyze it critically and evaluate that how that research or how that evidence stands in terms of quality, in terms of its feasibility, or in terms of its evidence, how strong is the evidence or how weak is the evidence. So you will analyze critically those findings. Third thing, you will also discuss the strengths, weakness, and this potential gaps in knowledge. Just in we do in other kinds of research, here you will also discuss the certain strengths, weakness, limitations, and gaps in knowledge regarding to that topic or theme in the review article. And also you will give some future direction, identify that what future direction could be done to improve the knowledge on that subject. It could be you can give suggestions that what kind of studies should be done. And in conclusion, you will summarize your main points and highlight the significance of your review, just like we did in other studies. And this is just a simple that how you can go critical. And what do I mean by critical analysis? Just go beyond just summarize. Do not just summarize whatever is available. Go beyond summarization. What? Analyze and evaluate the strengths and weakness of each study. Whatever studies you are using in that review article, you need to evaluate the strengths or weakness of those studies. And you can identify any biases and limitations in that review. And you will also discuss some conflicting findings and present the different perspectives. So you can actually differ from the other, you can disagree with the authors, or you can give your own judgment based on the facts and findings. Now, how you will synthesize and integrate? You have to integrate and synthesize findings from different sources. You will highlight the key themes and trends within the literature. You can provide a cohesive and comprehensive overview of that topic. And obviously, in the end, you will do the citing and reference. Just quickly, I will go now to one of the published review articles. So this is one of the published review article in 2016 in Heart Failure Reviews. So this is actually about the acid base and electrolyte abnormalities in heart failure. So it's see, the topic is a research question is actually acid base and electrolytes, as the title suggests. This is its title, and this is after colon, this is actually the scope of that review: pathophysiology and implications. Say when I'm talking about acid base electrolyte imbalances in heart failure, that could be many things related to those things. But see, in this topic, the title says that okay, this review is going to discuss about these things about in heart failure. These are not this heart failure, but what in that, what theme in that. So again, it just specifies that this review focuses on pathophysiology and implications of these abnormalities in heart failure, and see how authors wrote it. So first thing first is the abstract. Obviously, every research has abstract, so I'm not going to abstract. So you must be knowing that what abstract is. It's just a summary of whole research process. So first thing is introduction. As I gave you in that summary, that first thing, here are your keywords. This is your introduction. The first thing they wrote about the introduction of this in review. And just after writing the this introduction, obviously when we are talking about electrolyte imbalance, what comes in your mind? Typically, the first thing that will come in your mind will be, okay, it will be sodium abnormality, potassium abnormality, chloride abnormality, phosphate abnormality, acidosis, alkalosis, and these things. So see, now they are discussing the major themes in this review article. So this article was actually about the electrolyte and acid base imbalances in heart failure, and what was the scope of discussing these abnormalities in this review article? It was pathophysiology and implications, how these are actually being produced in the scenario of heart failure, and what are its effects on those patients. So see, the first thing they have discussed, the first, you can say the first theme they identified from the literature, or the first pattern they identified from the literature, first subtitle was hyponatremia, that is low sodium. So first they have started with this hyponatremia, and they started discussing related to hyponatremia. So they are giving the normal values of hyponatremia and then talking about the these ranges of hyponatremia, and then in that hyponatremia they're talking about certain trials, and again now they are talking about some drugs and these things. Just look at how this structure is created. Then there is a whole detail related to hyponatremia, its pathophysiology, and know how it affects the heart failure patient. Now this is a very good diagram. I'm not going detail, just showing you that you can also use some good diagrams. Again, you will keep in mind that what is the requirement of the journal you are submitting into. Some journals give you unlimited permission to for figures and these things, certain have their limitations. So this is a very good, I'm not going into detail, this is not domain of this video. And again, see, this is continuing, the hyponatremia is continuing, and they're talking about different things in hyponatremia. And just after hyponatremia they came into the pick the potassium, it's hypokalemia. So obviously they would have searched the literature, and in literature they would have found these themes. Most of the discussion will be around sodium, then will be potassium, and the decreasing order, then it will be related to some chloride, and then some acid base disturbances. Now they in hypokalemia they have discussing about the hypokalemia now, and this is a lot of discussion regarding the hypokalemia. And then see this hypomagnesemia. Again, hypomagnesemia, magnesium is a very important electrolyte as far as your heart is concerned. Any pathophysiology of heart, magnesium does play its role. So now they are talking about this hypomagnesemia. Again, other figure, just making the things easier. See this, how beautifully they are presenting it. Another figure, and after hypomagnesemia, and they are actually talking about this hypocalcemia and hypophosphatemia again, and then it's details and everything. See, in this review article we're not following a certain structure like we do in a systematic review, we do in a meta-analysis, or in a primary research, like in methods we talk about, okay, sampling, we talk about those our sample, the character, and what we did, setting, and we just actually reviewing whatever is available. We are just reviewing, summarizing it, whatever is available, and then doing the critical review of that evidence, and then these figures, they make the things. And now they jump to the acid base abnormalities. So they are coming to this acid base abnormalities, and finally this conclusion, and you have got your references in the end. Just like the pattern, the pattern of the paper is similar, just I show you the Word document. So these are too many references they have used. So this is how you actually write a review article. You identify the key themes and patterns and discussions from the literature review, that okay, what things are available related to that research question literature, and then you summarize it. Just like this in hyponatremia, what they did, they gave about the definition of hyponatremia, then they gave about the levels of hyponatremia, they talked about certain trials in a hyponatremia, then they are talking about this RAS system, nervous system, and certain drugs, and what else, just summarizing it. They are then talking about some normal heart, how the pathophysiology, how this systematic nervous system, how this kidneys, GFR, vasodilation. So they are discussing actually the pathophysiology, then how this RAS system. So they are discussing pathophysiology, then they are talking about that how this heart and kidneys are integrated with related to these hyponatremia, and they have given this figure, and they are yes, they are talking about this drugs, let's say diuretics, they're talking about different diuretics and that effect, and again diuretic. And after talking about pathophysiology and implications, now they have come some on a critical review, they are critically analyzing the review, that they are talking about different clinical studies have shown that this you know then they are talking about, they are giving references, and they are citing the literature, and they are talking weakness and strengths of the literature just discussed in previous sections, and now they are just giving us some summary of, and this is how you write about that certain theme. So this is how you actually write a review article. That's not too difficult. The only thing you have to follow these steps, that you have to summarize and critically analyze your findings from the literature review. I hope that this video is somehow will help you in writing your review article. Thank you.